So welcome student, this is another class. So in this class, in the surface chemistry, we will read what do you mean by first catalysis, then types of catalyst, promoter, poison, autocatalyst, types of catalysis, adsorption theory or mechanism, important features of solid catalyst. Then after this, what are the characteristics of a catalyst, and last is enzyme catalysis. Clear? So first is, what do you mean by catalysis? You know what is catalyst? So catalyst is a chemical substance. In chemical kinetics we have read catalyst is a chemical substance which alters the rate of a reaction. It may increases or it may decreases the rate of reaction. Clear? So at the end of the chemical reaction, catalyst composition always remain same. Understood? So that's why the phenomenon is known as a catalysis, substance is known as a catalyst. Clear? So catalyst is a chemical substance which changes or which alters the rate of a chemical reaction is known as catalyst. Phenomenon is known as a catalysis. Okay? Then next is types of a catalyst. You know catalysts are of two types. One is called a positive catalyst and another one is called a negative catalyst. Positive and negative catalyst detail part mathematical with different types of numerical we have done in chemical kinetics. Again I am telling, in positive catalyst you know it decreases the activation energy so that reaction become faster. But in a negative catalyst it increases the activation energy so that the reaction become slower or slow. Clear? So that's why positive catalyst and another one is negative catalyst. So this part we have read earlier in kinetics. So our next main part is what is promoter and what is poison. What is promoter and what is poison? Promoter first. Promoter is a chemical substance which increases the efficiency of a catalyst. You cannot write it increases the rate of the reaction. It increases the efficiency of catalyst. In poison, it decreases the efficiency of the catalyst. Suppose, for example, you see, suppose in the preparation of ammonia by Haber's process, N2 plus H2, it gives rise to ammonia. Yes or no? So in this preparation, we know iron or molybdenum act as a catalyst, positive catalyst. So here iron is a catalyst, but here Al2O3 or K2O if you look, it act as a promoter. Got the idea? So promoter is a chemical substance which increases the efficiency of a catalyst. Poison, it decreases the efficiency of a catalyst. Same in this reaction. Suppose in this preparation of ammonia by Haber's process, in this container also, if carbon monoxide is present, yes or no, this carbon monoxide must be removed from the reaction. Okay, because we know when the reaction takes place, it must be in a container. So in this container, maybe carbon dioxide, carbon monoxide gas may be present. So in the preparation of ammonia by Haber's process, carbon monoxide must be removed from the reaction, otherwise it slows down the reaction. Why? Because carbon monoxide acts as a catalytic poison for this reaction. Carbon monoxide acts as a catalytic poison for this reaction. So got the idea? So this is the meaning of catalysis, catalyst, positive catalyst, negative catalyst, okay, promoter and a poison. Clear now? Next is, what do you mean by autocatalyst? Autocatalyst means during a chemical reaction, from the beginning, suppose the reaction takes place normally in the presence of certain catalyst, but when any one product will form, that product is a catalyst for the further reaction. Okay, suppose you see hydrolysis of ester. Hydrolysis of ester. So CH3COO C2H5 plus water this reaction takes place in the presence of acid catalyst, so that the reaction is CH3COOH plus C2H5OH. So you see here carboxylic acid formed. This is also an acid. So that's why this reaction, hydrolysis of ester, one question is there. Why the hydrolysis of ester is slow in the beginning, but why after some time the reaction become faster? Because the product acetic acid act as a auto catalyst for the reaction, because we know acid produces H plus. So that's why hydrolysis of ester takes place in the presence of acid catalyst. Once acetic acid will form, acetic acid act as a auto catalyst for the further reaction. Got the idea? So this is called the auto catalyst. Then next part is what are the different types of catalysis. So catalysis, it is of two types. One is called homogeneous catalysis and another one is called heterogeneous catalysis. Homogeneous catalysis and heterogeneous catalysis. What is the meaning of homogeneous catalysis? You see one reaction. Suppose that hydrolysis CH3COO C2H5, this is liquid, H2O, this is also liquid. So when this reaction takes place, catalyst is also liquid. But heterogeneous, suppose N2H2 gas, okay, product, it gives product, iron is catalyst. So you remember, homogeneous catalysis means the catalysis or the catalytic reaction in which both the reactant and catalyst are in same phase. This is called homogeneous catalysis. But when the reactant are in different phase, this is called heterogeneous catalysis. So you see, gas, iron is solid. But here liquid. Okay, so in chemistry, in our chemistry, so many reactions are there. These are homogeneous or heterogeneous. So maximum reactions are heterogeneous reaction. Okay, why? You see, if all are liquid, we know after the end of the reaction it is very difficult to separate because all are in same state. But you see, here reactant are gas, product is also gas, catalyst is solid. So that's why it is easy to separate. So that's why in chemistry, heterogeneous catalysis is more convenient, yes or no, than homogeneous catalysis. Clear? So that's why after theory of catalysis, that's why concept is coming, adsorption theory of heterogeneous catalysis. Okay, adsorption theory of heterogeneous catalysis. That means why heterogeneous catalysis is best. Okay, first you see the picture, then we'll write the theory. So you see, suppose this is the catalyst surface. This is the catalyst surface. When A and B, these are the reactant. Okay, so when they combine, so first it gives like this, you see. First it gives like this, A and B. Okay, then next is what? The picture will be like this, A and B. Okay, then next step is again like this, okay, and AB. So here this is product, this is catalyst, yes or no? This is what? SC, activated complex. So you see, so in this part, what is the theory of heterogeneous catalysis or mechanism of heterogeneous catalysis? So first you see, when the reactant will come, first both the reactant they diffuse with each other. So after the diffusion means what? Mixing. So first they diffuse with each other. So after the diffusion, then what will happen? Physical adsorption takes place. That means both the reactant will be accumulated over the surface of the catalyst. So physical adsorption takes place. Then next step is chemical adsorption takes place. That means bonding takes place between this. Okay, and we know in kinetics, activated complex is highly unstable, more energy, so it undergoes quickly breaking or decomposition. So that's why again what desorption takes place. Desorption takes place means the reacting molecules, yes or no, after formation of product is separated from the catalyst surface. Okay, so this is called a desorption. Then last fifth step is after the desorption, the product molecules will be completely away from the catalyst surface for the further reaction. So that's why if catalyst is solid, then like this it is possible. But if catalyst all are same, gas, that means like this water, physical adsorption, chemical adsorption, desorption, it is very difficult. Understood? So that's why between homogeneous and heterogeneous catalysis is the best in our chemistry. Got the idea? Clear? So this is the meaning, theory or mechanism of heterogeneous catalysis. Then next part is what are the different important features of solid catalyst. This part is very important for our board exam as well as also entrance. Solid catalyst has two major features. One is solid catalysts are highly active and selective. Okay, so that's why one is called activity and second one is called selectivity. So solid catalyst has highly active and highly selective. So in the exam questions are coming, what do you mean by activity and selectivity of a catalyst? What do you mean by activity and selectivity of a catalyst? So the activity of a catalyst depends upon the strength of chemisorption. The activity of a catalyst depends upon, in the picture, the bonding takes place between A and B. So the activity depends upon this bonding. So any chemical reaction, if that bonding is very strong, so the activity depends upon the bonding between reacting ones. So activity depends upon the strength of chemisorption to a large extent. So if that activity means chemisorption is very strong, then the reaction takes place easily. So that chemisorption is only possible when the catalyst is solid. Clear? Similarly, what do you mean by selectivity of a catalyst? Selectivity of a catalyst depends upon the ability to direct a reaction. The ability to direct a reaction. What does it mean? That means same reactant but different solid catalyst, different product. Same reactant, okay, different catalyst, different product. How? Suppose if you take carbon monoxide plus hydrogen, when catalyst is nickel, ZnO, copper, zinc oxide and copper. So when we take nickel as a catalyst, the product is methane. Here the product is methane. Here the product is methanol. And last case the product is formaldehyde, aldehyde, HCHO. So you see, so same reactant, but when the catalysts are different, products are different. This is only possible when catalyst is solid. That's why solid catalysts are highly selective and first one is highly active. Got the idea? So what do you mean by activity and selectivity of a catalyst? Activity of a catalyst depends upon the strength of chemisorption between AB. Selectivity of a catalyst depends upon the ability to direct a reaction. Same reactant, different catalyst, different product. This is only possible when catalyst is solid, but this is not possible when it is homogeneous catalyst. Clear? So after characteristics of a catalyst, the next part is what do you mean by self-selective catalyst? Okay, so solid catalyst, it is highly active and highly selective. Next, what do you mean by self-selective catalyst? Self-selective catalyst means the catalytic reaction in which the rate of the reaction depends upon the particle size of reactant, catalyst and product. Understood? Again, so what do you mean by self-selective catalyst? The catalytic reaction that depends on the particle size or the pore structure of the catalyst and the size of the reactant and product molecule. This is called self-selective catalyst. And which one is called self-selective catalyst? Zeolite is called self-selective catalyst. Zeolite is called self-selective catalyst. Got the idea? Okay, means catalytic reaction, it depends upon the particle size or the pore structure of the catalyst. That means if the catalyst is microporous, then this catalyst is a very good catalyst for the chemical reaction. Okay. So zeolite, next is, sir, what is zeolite? So zeolite, it is a microporous honeycomb like structure. Zeolite is a microporous substance, honeycomb like structure. That means it has many pores. Yes or no? Many holes are there. Microporous structure. Yes or no? And what is zeolite? So zeolite is a three-dimensional networking structure of aluminum, oxygen, silicon. Three-dimensional networking structure of aluminum, oxygen, silicon network. Like this, you see, 11th class we have read SiO2, quartz. Yes or no? So the picture was like this, Si, yes or no? It link with 4 oxygen atom. Next Si, like this, oxygen. Yes or no? Next Si, so oxygen, Si. Yes or no? So like this, what is silicon dioxide structure? So here, one silicon atom, if it is replaced by aluminum, oxygen, silicon, oxygen, aluminum, then it is called a zeolite. Understood? So zeolite, it is a microporous structure, yes or no? And it is a three-dimensional networking structure of aluminum, oxygen, silicon. Okay, and zeolite is a self-selective catalyst. And nowadays we are using one catalyst, zeolite, that is called ZSM5. ZSM5, which one is used as a catalyst in the petroleum industry for the cracking process. That means ZSM5 also what used as a catalyst in the petroleum industry, which converts direct ethyl alcohol to petroleum or petrol, gasoline. Ethyl alcohol to petroleum. Okay, so that's why this is called a self-selective catalyst. Zeolite is a self-selective catalyst. Self-selective catalyst depends upon the pore size or particle size. Then next part is, what is the meaning of enzyme catalysis? Enzyme catalysis, you know, in our body different types of enzymes are secreted in different glands. Clear? Suppose inside our stomach, yes or no, different enzymes are secreted. So what is enzyme catalysis? That means enzyme catalysis are the biochemical catalyst. Enzyme catalysts are the biochemical catalyst. Okay, that means in some chemical reactions, enzyme also act as a catalyst. Suppose you see one example. Suppose if you take sugar C12H22O11 from sugarcane juice, yes or no, by fermentation process, but we can prepare glucose and fructose. So it gives glucose C6H12O6 plus C6H12O6. Clear? So sugarcane in the presence of dash invertase as an enzyme, invertase, it gives you glucose and fructose. Similarly, glucose C6H12O6 in the presence of zymase, yes or no, zymase, it gives you ethyl alcohol C2H5OH and carbon dioxide. So that's why these are called enzyme catalysis or enzyme catalyst. Clear? Similarly, urea is converted into ammonia in the presence of urease as an enzyme. In our stomach, pepsin is an enzyme which converts protein into peptides. Conversion of milk into curd takes place in the presence of enzyme lactobacilli. Understood? So that's why some chemical reactions which takes place in the presence of certain enzyme, and these are known as enzyme catalysis. Understood? So enzyme catalysis, and if you compare between normal catalysis and enzyme catalysis, normal catalysis reactions are actually very faster, but enzyme catalysis reactions are very slow, not very slow, moderate actually. Okay, so what are the different characteristics of enzyme catalysis? So enzyme catalysis, different characteristics of enzyme catalysis. Okay, so you see, suppose in our stomach, yes or no, pepsin is present, yes or no, and when we are eating different types of food, that enzyme is highly active. Take rice is digested, yes or no, take chicken, mutton, paneer, yes or no. So any food, anything when you are taking, that thing is digested by water, that enzyme which is present in our stomach. So that's why, what are the different characteristics of enzyme catalysis? It is highly efficient, it is highly specific, it is highly active under optimum temperature, because you know our normal body temperature, yes or no, when you are suffering from fever also, definitely our catalytic activity decreases in our stomach. That's why you see, when actually you are suffering from fever, yes or no, we have no interest on water, food, yes or no. So that's why? Because the catalytic activity is influenced by increasing in temperature. It is highly active, highly selective. Anything you take, it is digested. Clear? Similarly, it is highly active under optimum pH. It is also influenced by inhibitor and poison. Its activity increases in the presence of activator and coenzymes. Clear? So enzyme catalysis, these are highly active under optimum pH. Yes or no? So when pH also changes, catalytic activity also changes. You know, suppose when pH decreases, we are suffering from acidity. So what activity changes. Clear? Similarly, the enzyme catalysis also, its activity influenced by like inhibitor, yes or no, or coenzymes also. Like normal catalysis, that is promoter and poison. Clear? Suppose you see, when we are taking more food, we need more digestion, means we need faster digestion. That's why we are taking eno or pudinhara. Why? Because we are taking some extra enzymes. So that's why catalytic enzyme or enzyme catalysis, it is highly influenced, highly active, highly selective, influenced by coenzymes or promoter also. Understood? So this is called enzyme catalysis. Then another part of the catalyst is, the last part of the catalyst is, what is the mechanism? Okay, what is the mechanism of enzyme catalyst? In biology, I think you have read, which is called lock and key model. So you see, when suppose you are taking one this is one substrate, reactant, food. So when we are eating this type of substrate, when it enter into our body, that enzyme also takes its complementary signs. This is called an enzyme. So when substrate and enzyme combine with each other, it gives you ES enzyme substrate complex. And enzyme substrate complex, it undergoes decomposition, it gives enzyme plus product. Okay, very easy. So that's why when substrate and enzyme they combine, it gives you enzyme substrate complex. So you see, suppose this is a lock. So this lock can be what opened by a specific key. So enzyme takes a complementary what size of the substrate, and when they what combine, it forms an enzyme substrate complex, and in this enzyme substrate complex it is highly unstable, thus it gives enzyme loss product. Understood? So these are the what part from our catalyst. Again from the beginning I am telling, first catalyst, types of catalyst, positive and negative, promoter and poison, auto catalyst, homogeneous and heterogeneous catalyst. Between homogeneous and heterogeneous is best. Then theory of heterogeneous catalyst, yes or no. Then characteristics of solid catalyst, activity and selectivity. What do you mean by selective catalyst? Zeolite definition, structure, okay, and last is enzyme catalyst. Okay, clear now?